Hey y'all, it's your girl BrE FREE, coming to y'all yet again. This time, reading to you guys from my book titled My Story, BrE FREE, Get to Know Me. BrE FREE by BrE. Chapter 1, Abandoned. When a child is born into this world, they immediately start or try to make sense of the world around them. They cry when they are wet, hungry, or just want to be held. As a mom of 3, I've witnessed this firsthand. I'd like to say I've learned more what to do by baby number 3. Before kids, I was a heavy sleeper. I literally could sleep through anything. My first child, named Anaya, my firstborn girl, had bad acid reflux. Any parent who experienced this can relate to what I went through. I was 15, living in a mother and me group home called CAM, located in Willingboro, New Jersey. CAM had this rule where your child couldn't sleep in the bed with you. They made this rule because the girl who lived there did that and accidentally suffocated her child. I was scared to do the same, so most nights I watched her sleep. Around this time, 2007, a lot of stories of babies dying in their sleep due to SIDS was a main topic. So on top of my baby girl having acid reflux, I was also scared of that. I remember jolting up out of my sleep, hearing my newborn choke on her spit up. The crazy thing is, she wasn't loud. She really couldn't cry to tell me something was wrong either. It was as if my hearing became heightened to her sound. Becoming a mother snapped me out of a heavy sleeping. With my daughter, I was a single mom for the first 3 to 4 years of her life. And as I mentioned before, I was a product of the system. How that came about? I was left in a home alone with my 3 sisters. I was only 9 months and the oldest was 4. We were all a year apart, but still babies. So you could just imagine the emotional trauma I was exposed to before I knew what any of it meant. Was I held often? Did I eat well? Did they love me? How long did they leave us alone? My sister, the oldest one, says we were filthy, pissy, shitty, playing with the crack pipes they left behind. My mind often wondered what mother or father would do such a thing. My sister said the only reason we were even found is because somehow she managed to carry me next door and would ask her neighbors for food and milk. My youngest daughter is 4, and I can't imagine her having to have that much responsibility and having to endure that. Thank God the neighbors eventually caught on and called Child Protective Services. They saved our lives, and they don't even know it. All I can say is, crack is one hell of a drug. My story takes place in Brooklyn, New York, somewhere in the projects. Crazy thing is, my birth certificate says I was born at John F. Kennedy Hospital in New Jersey. I still rep and say I'm from New York because I didn't move to New Jersey until I was 9. I still remember the agency we went to. It was called Little Flower. Like orphans, me and my sisters waited for anyone to take us in. As the story goes, the agency wanted to try to keep us together. So when a man named Theodore Buto came into the agency, he immediately gravitated towards me. As I mentioned before, at this time, I was the youngest child. And for those who don't know, most folks looking to adopt want babies. I know because I found myself back in the system at age 14, but we'll get to that later. The agency let him know that me and my sisters were a package deal, and he'd have to take them in as well. After talking to his wife Elizabeth, who later became my adopted mom, she agreed. She already had 2 biological daughters of her own. To my knowledge, he didn't have any biological kids of his own. And in this case, he wanted to adopt kids. And she didn't, but because she loved him, she was willing. So for now, me and my sisters had a place to call home.